Hello everyone. So I thought today I would take you guys on a little bit of a tour of my front yard garden. I often don't really share everything that I grow in the front yard, but I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys a full tour of everything. So you can see here, these are humongous lavender bushes, and I have two of them. In between, I've planted some miniature roses, and this is a red variety here. See that there? And then this canna I had planted last year, actually about 2 years ago, and it was supposed to bloom orange flowers, but it never seems to get tall enough. Maybe this year we'll have better luck. But it came up from overwintering. And then this year I planted some yellowish cream colored miniature roses. And this is a double, and I really like this one because this one has such bigger flowers, more so than the other one. This one over here is a knockout variety miniature rose, and this one over here I'm not quite sure what kind of variety it is, but it's a rose. So that's up the driveway here, as you can see there. And then this is the other lavender bush that's in full bloom. And I'll cut that back probably in about a week or two. And then over here, I actually have I think it's called a Guarara. I'll put the name in the bottom so you guys can see what it is, but it's mixed in the grass. And this is a perennial hibiscus over here. It's not in bloom yet. And there was supposed to be Alaska daisies in here, but they sort of died out. That's a daylily. I'm not quite sure what color that'll bloom, but I'm assuming like a yellow. Alright, so now we're going to head to the mailbox here. And so guys, stay tuned. There's going to be a video about how to make this edger, this brick edger. So I'll show you guys how I did that and how you too can do it. And I put two little pedestals here because my mailbox opens to front and back. But in this flower bed, we have quite a few things going on here. So we have some daylilies. Those are yellow, that are right there. And over there, you probably can't see it that well, those are zinnias. And here's some more of the zinnias right here. This is a daylily, and this pretty red thing that you see right there, that is called a Furman's Autumn Sage. And it actually blooms all summer long and all the way through into the fall. So as we come around here, I have daylilies, lots of daylilies. I'm going to pull up quite a few of those because I don't want as many daylilies. And I got a little bit of a cutting from a friend of this ice plant, and that's what's growing right here. And I'm looking forward to hopefully it'll trail out and come all the way down here. More daylilies, like I said, they're going to disappear. There's my shadow. Hi guys. And this is a zinnia here. Hopefully that will be opening up soon. This is Coreopsis, and those are actually just some random ones that I found here, and more daylilies. And what I did plant here that has yet to come up, that will be in here, is oxalis, and it's a purple leaf one. And then I have some oriental lilies in here too. As you can see, there's one of the leaves there. So that is the mailbox. So this is the flower bed at the front, and this one here has cannas that are perennial for me, and they are just a regular pink variety cannas. I actually got those at a farmer's market many years ago. So this is my peony plant, and it's no longer in bloom right now. Over here, that's right there, those are hibiscus, and I'm assuming that they're pink, and they sort of self-seeded. I actually will relocate them or give them away or get rid of them. I just haven't had the heart to do it yet. But down here, I have Grabera daisies that's actually done. So what I do is I actually pull them when they are done with their flowering. I don't want them to go to seed yet. I just pull them and I put them back into the garden to feed the soil. as long as it's not such of an eyesore. If it is, then I'll take some of the extra foliage like I did with the peony plant and put it in my compost. But over here we have a yellow double daylily, and that's a lot of this same variety is around the mailbox. And this is a small clump, excuse my shadow in the way, of dianthus, white dianthus, that I actually got on clearance this year. And so I have 2 of those. Burgundy and green oxalis, and it's called the Iron Cross variety. And there's a little story about this oxalis here, is that it was actually given to me by my late aunt, who passed away many years ago. She was in her 80s, and she had given me quite a few flowers to start my garden off, and this is the one perennial plant that has made it and stayed and didn't have any problems. So every time I look at that, I think of my aunt. So flowers can be very sentimental, and you can actually use those as a potential legacy from one family member to another. Moses plant, and I'll put the name in the bottom, so just check your description there. And then I have an adenium in this pot here. This is supposed to bloom a yellow, and it's only about a year old, so I don't think it's going to bloom this year, but we'll have hope, we'll see. And then I have lots of irises that needs to be cleaned out. So they are yellow, and then there are some what they call boo, which is a purple and a white variety. But I want to sort of organize them a little bit better, and I waited too late, so they're going to have to be done later in the year. But this here is mums and chrysanthemums, and I always cut my chrysanthemums back to like literally about an inch after they've grown out to about 12 inches to the season, as long as you stop cutting them before August, because if you cut them again after August, you're going to cut into the blooms. But I'll do another cut in middle of July, and just to make them a little bit more bushy, and that'll be it, and then leave them alone. And these are some petunias, and then I have another Moses plant, and this is another peony plant. This one is supposed to bloom red, however has yet to bloom yet because I planted it a little bit too deep, but I do want to relocate this. More daylilies. This is the yellow variety, and this is a Cape lily, and so this gets really big. I had to literally chop back the foliage because it was just too big, so I'm definitely going to relocate that. The interesting thing about Cape lilies is they live a long time. They're a very historic kind of plant. Oftentimes you'll find them at old homes, barnyards, or farms, and they have this huge foliage. Then they put out this really pretty stalk, and it's the traditional lily stalk. And so this one's about to bloom, so I'll do another video when it's in bloom so you guys can see it. And back here are some gladiolas that actually overwintered. I had got those from a dollar store, and it looked like they literally multiplied, so that's very rare. And then in these containers I have another Gerbera daisy, and then I have white. So the theme in these pots is red, pinkish, white. So then I have white petunias, and then a reddish pink Gerbera daisy, which is just like that one. And then I have one over here, and then we'll go over here, and then I have mostly red and white. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, in the middle, this is a Majesty palm, and I actually found 2 of those, so the other one is not doing as well. It's getting too much sun, but it's more so just like a focal interest until the actual plant has filled in, which it has now because this was sort of sparse. But one thing to note, to keep your petunias constantly in bloom, is you want to come along regularly and take off any of the spent flowers, okay? So there is a spent flower right here, and you just pull them off, and then that way it doesn't get a chance to set seed, and it'll continually promote flowering, okay? So that's a little tidbit if you guys aren't aware of that already. And I literally just put the flowers back in there to compost directly. Okay, and so here we have a little miniature rose. It was not doing that well. I don't think it likes all this sun, and it seems to seem like it was trying to get some kind of disease. But this one is so pretty. It's a double flowering little miniature rose, and I'm going to plant this in the ground in the garden because these are perennials. You get them in the springtime, and then they're, you know, often considered like throwaway plants, but no, get them and plant them in your garden. I think they're hardy down to 6B. I'm in 7A, so yeah, you probably could take care of those. So I like the miniatures too, because in that way you can pack in more flowers and less space of roses. But roses can be a little bit finicky. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering, what in the world is all of that over here? And I know it looks like a little bit of a jungle, but this is a euphorbia lathrus. I'll put the name down at the bottom. And it self-seeds, and I use this to prevent mold. So I usually plant these sporadically throughout my garden so that the molds will stop coming. I had a really bad problem. I can't say that they're 100% foul-proof method, but they do work a little bit. It has to be directly around whatever you're trying to protect, or directly around the area in which, because any like too far away, it doesn't seem to work. Okay, so this is my adenium plant, and this one is my prized possession, okay? I call it my little fat Buddha. I've had this one since 2018. It was a little over a year, probably a 2-year-old little plant, and it blooms pink flowers. I've been training it. It was literally just 2 stems, and I've been training it to have more branches. I'm not done. It's like, you know, like a bonsai. It's never done. It's always going to be a constant work in process. But I wanted to make sure that I get the caudix nice and fat. And I've been lifting it up a little bit. So I'll do another video fully about this adenium so you guys can see. So stay tuned for that. Okay. And over here are my azalea bushes mixed in with some of the euphorbia that needs to be trimmed out. And then I have some variegated sedum growing down here, and I am going to move this variegated ornamental grass. I don't want that one up here. It doesn't seem to grow as well as my other one that you'll see shortly, but yeah, that one's going. So I planted oak leaf hydrangea here, and that is actually in bloom, as you can see right there. And I'm hoping that that will fill out this whole area, and that euphorbia is definitely going to go. And then I have, this is a miscanthus ornamental grass here. I am going to keep that because I love the way that it flows in the wind. I love how it has little plumes in the fall. It has nice fall foliage, and then every spring I cut it back down to about a foot, and I just really like it. And also, it's very useful. I use this the leaves of the miscanthus every spring like mulch, like green mulch, to provide my plants a source of nitrogen, also a coverage from the sun, and it's just really great. It's great. I want 2 plants that I always want to have in my garden always is an ornamental grass, some type of variety. I like this miscanthus variety, and some type of miniature or dwarf bamboo. I cannot live without those. Those are like my staples. And then this is another azalea bush over here, and I do have some mint that randomly grows in here. And I have some more daylilies. These are the Stella d'Or daylilies, and then more variegated sedum. And these are the lamb's ear. So this is another part of my front side yard garden, and this area is under construction. I have pulled out a lot of these Siberian irises that have grown here for years, and there's one little clump there, and then there's a bigger one back there. Those are eventually going to go, and I want something else there. But for now, they can stay. And this is another one of those perennial hibiscus. This one blooms a white with pink edges and a magenta center. And I'll put well, stay tuned. I'll do another video. I haven't done one in a while, so you guys can see it. But Japanese beetles really love this plant, as you can see. And I'm really no treatment kind of person. So maybe I'll do some neem oil or something to try to keep up with them this year. Or it could even be cicadas, we'll see. But this mondo grass has grown here as a little clump, and I will be getting rid of that, so that's not going to stay. And this here is columbine, Aquila, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it bloomed a really, really pretty flower that was purple, but now it's going to seed, and as you can see, these seed pods are just starting to open, and I'm letting it go to seed because I'm going to save the seeds so that I can collect them and plant them elsewhere. The foliage is a little bit spent, so it turns sort of like a variegated lime green with the cream streaks in here, but yeah, I'll be getting rid of most of that and then planting those somewhere else. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed what I have growing in my garden, my front yard garden this year. Stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, have a great day.